good? I'm Winston A. Marshall, aka the Swaggy Blurred, and this is my Black Mirror Season 6 Episode 4 review of the episode entitled Mazey Day. This stars Zazie Beetz, Clara Rugaard, and Danny Ramirez. Real quick, up top, if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so every time I put content up, you are aware of what's going on. And I'm doing everything from reviews and discussions to comedy, man. So you definitely want to be sure to be around for all that. But please, again, hit that subscribe button. And also know this is a spoiler review, as it says on the thumbnail, as I just said twice now. So please be aware of that. If you don't want to get this ruined for yourself, go watch the content first, then come back. Now, originally I was having this planned to release on Wednesday, but because I had to put up both my Secret Invasion and indie stuff, I didn't want to overflood, keep some content going. So we shifted everything back. So we got this today. You'll get episode 5 tomorrow, which is, I believe, called Demon 79. I'm excited for that. But this particular episode, I had heard a lot of people really had issue with it. I didn't look into what it was because I wanted to formulate my own opinions first. I'm going to kind of go into that after I'm done recording here and just kind of see where everybody else was on it. But essentially, this story is about, Zazie, who is a paparazzi, or at least she was. You start off with her doing some paparazzi stuff, and she ended up ruining a man's life. An actor who she took photos of, who was in a gay secret relationship, cheating on his girlfriend, longtime girlfriend. Zazie takes the photos. He begs her to sell them to her. She won't do it. Instead, she goes and sells it to the person that she normally works with, and the actor ends up killing themselves. And it really messes with Zazie. She decides to get out of the game because of it, and to go straight. It really just gets her. This is all taking place as well, kind of in like the early 2000s kind of era. Because there's an iPod Nano that shows up, the Shuffle. So, just so we can kind of get an idea of where we are. Plus, she's listening to One Thing, older song too, early 2000s. So, at the same time, we're seeing this actress, Mazey Day, who is dealing with paparazzi left and right. She's just trying to live her life. She's on the set of a movie. One night when she's learning a line, she gets drunk, she takes mushrooms, she's out driving, and she ends up hitting somebody. She ends up on a hit and run. And she just seems completely sporadic from that point forward. Gets apparently let go from a set and then disappears. And so as this is all unfolding, Zazie, again, has retired after that other actor killed themselves. Now, all of a sudden, she's working as a barista. She's got this really, nebbish roommate, which that's a whole funny segment about using cue cards and all that kind of stuff, which I'm not knocking that, because there have been times where I don't do a good job of keeping all my thoughts straight. So I've written stuff down, but you got to say that shit with conviction. Like, my guy was like, I don't like it when you take my food, and I shouldn't have to pay for you. Like, it was just it was really well done. I love that little part with her roommate. But Zazie gets brought back into a game by her homie, again, played by Danny Ramirez, Hector, because since Mazey has been missing, anybody that can find photos of her since she was acting so sporadic will make $30,000, and even more if they can find her in like a fucked up state of like drug addiction or something like that, which just goes to show how dirty the paparazzi world is. But Zazie really needs the money. Yes, she has a legit job, but it's not really doing anything for her. So she goes in on this quest to do it, and they end up finding her out in this town, like way, 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 way out. And like there's there's a doctor that's this like kind of hoity-toity doctor, this like voodoo type doctor that is associated with the stars that they see on their way and all that. So she is going with Hector to figure this out, and that's when two of the shittier paparazzi, Witty and Duke, they had put a tracking device on Hector's motorcycle to this grand resort where this is all happening. And they're just like real scumbags. Again, tracking other people. There's times they've put him on limos, and it's giving me all these thoughts about, you know, like what happened to Princess Diana and almost happened to Harry and Meghan, and it's happened to so many others where I'm not surprised that celebrities have snapped because it's just a lot going on. They break into this compound that's really like, you know, really like locked down. See the guy that was threatening Zazie earlier, like he had slashed her tire so that she couldn't follow him and all that stuff. They see the doctor leave, and as they go to the window of the room that they saw the doctor come out of, they see Mazey, or what they think is Mazey, chained to a bed. So at first there's all this like, ooh, sexy, kinky, whatever. But they get in there and they're like, no, she's like legit chained by the neck to the floor. Like, this is like bad stuff. So Zazie's out here trying to rescue her. Like, this is illegal. We have to get her out of here. While the other three, and I'm including Hector here, Hector, Whitty, and Duke, they're all just nonstop taking photos. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, thank God I don't have epilepsy, because it is so much flashing. And that's the other thing I think about with paparazzi doing that stuff. You know, if they end up causing somebody to have a seizure one day, I hope that celebrity or whoever sues them for everything. But Zazie finally gets her free, and the only problem is Mazey looks up and she sees the full moon. And I'm thinking to myself when this happened, I was like, I know this bitch not about to turn into a werewolf. And they do a cut back, and again, she was on mushrooms, so she thought she just hallucinated and she had just had the hit and run. But what she ended up doing is she had hit a werewolf that bit her, and now she has werewolfism, and that is what she is dealing with herself. And so she first eats Whitty because Bo and Hector get the hell out of there. They're like, nope. And Bo is Zazie, by the way. I keep just using her real name. They get the hell up out of there. Whitty and Duke kind of stick around, but then Duke is realizing as this transformation is happening, nope, gotta go. Whitty ends up just getting completely mauled. Then Duke is running. They climbed. I forgot to mention, they went under a fence. They had to dig a bunch of dirt out from under the fence and then shimmy their way under. So Duke's a big boy. He dies for the thing, but between his stomach and his back, he's caught. He's trying to get out. They start pulling him at first, and then once Mazey, who is ungodly fast, catches up to him, you see Hector do something kind of fucked up and just take Duke's camera, because it's like, we can't save him. They get on a motorcycle. They take off. They end up like wiping out, and this poor dude who speaks Spanish, he's just like, what the fuck are y'all doing? And all of a sudden he gets eaten up, and they run into this diner that we had seen earlier, and they are freaking out trying to lock the door. There's a cop there. There's I didn't bring it up earlier because it's not really important to the story, but there's a young man who's working behind the counter, and the cook and all that stuff. It's nice little moments, but it's not prevalent until this moment. There's a couple other people eating. Zazie and Hector, or Bo and Hector, lock the doors. They're freaking out. They're hiding. Bo / Zazie goes for the gun of the cop. The cop immediately starts to handcuff her, but they're like, you don't get it, a monster's coming. And all of a sudden they hear the cook they're just like, hey, Davis, you good, dog? And the next thing you know, you just see the wolf come up, immediately tackles one dude that's eating. The girlfriend of that dude is like beating the Mazey, the werewolf, with the chair. She get ate. Then all of a sudden the cops fires a couple rounds, misses, goes to the wolf jumps, attacks him, ends up popping Clay, the counter boy, in the neck, and now it's just Hector and Zazie, and Hector gets fucked up, man. And so Zazie sees the gun and she reaches for it just as Mazey the werewolf dives for her, pops her one time. Zazie is just beside herself. She can't, just completely shocked. She looks down and she's looking at the carnage, and Mazey has sort of converted back to her human self and is bleeding out. And she's like, please kill me. And, at this particular moment, I forgot, before that happened, she went to check on Hector. Hector was dying, and he just thrust the camera into Zazie's hands, essentially being like, hey, get the money, girl, all that kind of stuff. And you think to yourself, okay, she takes those photos. All of this is fucked up, but considering this weird supernatural thing that happened, if she turns that in, that's enough. And this is where things get weird, and this is where I would guess that people didn't fuck with the ending. And I have a few thoughts, and I'm going to get out of here. So Mazey's like, please kill me. Zazie picks up the gun, and instead of shooting her, puts it in Mazey's hand and then pulls the camera up. And then we see a zoom out of the diner. You see a bright flash, which was implying that the gun, around the same time that the gun went off, the camera went off. So here's my issue. I have two main issues with the episode. The first is this is kind of the first time with Black Mirror that we didn't really deal with technology. Pretty much every single one of these stories, maybe not the very first one with the pig, but you could argue social media and just mainstream media in general. But every single one of these has had some sort of tie to technology and how technology, just as much as it could work for good, most of these were exploring how it could just be used for evil. And not only used for evil, or that evil could come down on us. So for that not to really be a thing, I guess you could make the argument with paparazzi, but that I don't buy that. Like the main thing here is the fact that this girl was a werewolf. So now we've kind of gone into supernatural territory, and that's not normally what we do. I'm not saying that you can't explore other stuff, but I don't know. We kind of picked a particular lane and we've stayed in it for all of the episodes prior to this, like every single one. So that threw me off a little bit. I won't lie. I was wondering for what the technological twist this was going to be. And we never really got that. And if I missed it, please let me know in the comments. But that's what I was kind of reading off of this. I didn't really get that. And then the second thing that was going on here, and this is where I think people could see it was gross, but I understood the ending a little bit. It just kind of sucked as a character choice, but I get it. That Zazie decides to pick up the camera, Bo decides to pick up the camera and take another shot of her killing herself. You already had enough in my mind of her being a werewolf, the weird treatment in which she was just going to be chained in a cabin, a massive cabin in the middle of nowhere. You already got enough of this. The transformation, all of it. I don't think you needed that last shot. And I think I get there's a point at which you're like, what does she do? She just take the camera and go. But I don't know. I think I know she needed the money, so I don't judge the character who's been this down and out. And after what she went through, there's a level of like, after considering it's now fully your trauma, like fuck it, get your money, boo boo. But I don't know. It rubbed me the wrong way for her to take that last picture. I don't judge her for taking the camera. I judge her for taking the last picture. But maybe that's kind of the point. Maybe we're supposed to ultimately believe that, if we're equating paparazzi to monsters, once a monster, always a monster. Maybe that was kind of the thing, is that who's the real monster here? Is it the werewolf and the poor girl that was driven to this, or is it the people that are torturing souls to the point of insanity and whatnot? So, but I am very curious what you think. Real quick, if I had to rate this, was it on my... It sucks because I love Zazie and she did a really good job. And again, I really loved what David Rashdal did. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He was Nathan, the roommate. Robbie, Tann, and James P. Rees were really good scumbags as paparazzi. So there's a lot to like here with the acting. It just doesn't rank up there as one of my favorites. I'm probably giving this one out of 10, probably a 5. It's a full middle of the road. It's not good. It's not bad. It could have maybe been a little higher if there was a better ending to this, but it's meh, if I'm being honest. So I want to know what you think. Did you rock with this story? Did it off put you a little bit? Let me know in the comments down below, and be sure to give me a like, man, if you enjoyed this content. I'm putting a lot more of it out. Again, we got one more episode of season 6 going. Again, I think this is part 1 of season 6, and not it's a 2-parter, but I'm not sure. I will know by the end of the next one here. But yeah, let me know what's down there, and then please check out all the other content that I have on here. Breakfast AM News, which if you want to catch those daily, those happen on my TikTok and Instagram. Please follow me over there at the Swaggy Blurred as well. Follow me over on Twitter. I'm trying to get the numbers up on all of these, man. Not just like the views and whatnot, but like I'm trying to, get the numbers up on this channel, on TikTok, all that. So please help a brother out. Go ahead and follow me on all those platforms. And I've got some more stuff. I just saw Indy, so my out of the theater reaction happened. I'm going to put out my non-spoiler review next week before the movie comes out. And then I'm going to be doing Secret Invasion every week. I will be putting that up, if not right after the episode airs, first thing in the morning. So be sure to check those out. And finally, Capes and Cows over on the Christian Harloff channel. You see me over there with Coy and Christian and all that good stuff. So please, thank you for joining us. Please come and hang. And with that, I will see y'all next time, man. Peace.